سهلنا والجبل من بكل الرجال قولنا والعمل في سبيل الكمال كلنا للوطن للعلا للعلم كلنا للوطن.
دولة الرئيس، أهلا وسهلا فيك. معالي الوزير، نحن بضيافتك وببيتك، شكرا على الاستضافة. بروفيسور فضلو خوري رئيس الجامعة الأمريكية ببيروت، الأساتذة أصحاب السيادة والسعادة، nos amis de l'ESA, bonsoir, vous êtes les bienvenus. معالي الوزير، الفعاليات الثقافية الإعلامية الفنية، عندي اعتراف. أنا وصغير كنت أقرأ مجلات الشرائط المصورة والقصص المصورة، وكان لهم أسماء مهضومة، الوطواط والبرق وسوبرمان وكل هالمجلات، وبعترف أني تعلمت شوي من اللغة العربية من وراء هالشرائط والقصص المصورة. بس المهم بالخبر أنه كنت أتماهى مع الأبطال، وكنت حس حالي أني لازم كون مثل هالأبطال يلي عم بقرأ عنهم، اتحدى المستحيل وخلص المدينة من الفقر والتعتير والفساد وحارب الشياطين وأعمل. أنا وصغير مثل كتير من الناس اللي كانوا من جيلي يقروا هالمجلات. طبعا كل واحد حسب ثقافته. بروفيسور اللي كان ثقافته فرنسية يقرأ كمان باند ديسيني مع شخصيات ثقافية وشخصيات هيك طوبوية يوتوبيك، واللي كان ثقافته انجليزي كان عنده كمان شرائط مصوره وقصص مصوره مثلنا نحن. لما كبرنا شوي اكتشفنا انه هول الابطال مش حقيقيين، وانه هالوعود اللي كانوا يعطونا اياها بتحقيق الاصلاحات ومحاربه الفساد والشر والشياطين ما كانت كتير مزبوطه. حطيناهم بتلافيف هيك العقل الباطني، وبلشنا نشوف الامور بواقعيه، انه لا، الحياه بدها صراع وبدها شغل وما فينا نحقق كل شيء، وبالتالي لازم نتأقلم ربما مع الواقع. مع الوقت لما كبرنا، أنا قطعت السن 60، يمكن في ناس شوي قطعوا أكثر مني وفي ناس على الطريق. اكتشفت إنه في أبطال غير هودي، هن الأبطال يلي رسموا الأبطال. يعني كل حدا بيشتغل كاريكاتير، بيشتغل شرائط مصورة وقصص مصورة، هو بطل يمكن أقوى بكتير من البطل يلي قرينا عنه لما كنا صغار. اليوم من بعد 8 سنين على مبادرة معتز ورادة الصواف، اكتشفت أنه في نوع ثالث من الأبطال، هن الأبطال يلي بيكرموا الأبطال يلي رسموا الأبطال. فاسمحوا لي باسمكم حيي إصرار معتز الصواف وشغفه وحبه لهذا الفن. وأنا بعتقد، وأنا من الناس اللي بيقروا، بعتقد أنه ما في حدا غير معتز صواف من 15 سنة لليوم مهتم بهذا الفن أكثر منه على المستوى الشخصي، وما في حاضنة ومؤسسة عريقة حضنت هذا الجهد أكثر من الجامعة الأمريكية ببيروت، وبالتحديد بروفيسور فضلو خوري. أهلا وسهلا فيكم الليلة بهيدي الجائزة، جائزة عم تتكرر للسنة الثامنة، عم نكرم فيها مبدعين من العالم العربي، عم نكرس وجه لبنان، عم نعيد وجه لبنان الحضاري والثقافي والفني اللي هو الوجه الحقيقي للبنان، ما له وجه آخر، ما له دور آخر، ما له هوية إلا يكون مشع لنفسه وللآخرين. هذا هو لبنان اللي بنحبه. وأهلا وسهلا فيكم. وهلأ بترككم مع كلمة رادة الصواف.
أهلا وسهلا فيكم. بس ححط عوينات لأنه ما بقى بشوف. الميكرو سيبو. فوالا. مساء الخير وأهلا وسهلا فيكم بالنسخة الثامنة من جائزة محمود كحيل اللي بتستضاف هالسنة، يلي بتصادف هالسنة الذكرى العشرين لغيابه. هالجائزة اللي بيعود الفضل لإطلاقها للصديق العزيز والعراب للمبادرة بشر العظم، وبوجه له تحية كبيرة. وأكيد ما اكتملت المبادرة ولا الجائزة إلا بصرح أكاديمي وعلمي عريق يلي هو الجامعة الأمريكية ببيروت بدعم وتشجيع وتعاون من رئيسها البروفيسور فضلو خوري. وبهالمناسبة برحب أعضاء اللجنة التحكيم من خبراء دوليين بالمتبارين يلي حطوا ثقتهم بالجائزة وإنجازاتها. أخيراً وليس آخراً بشكر معالي وزير الثقافة القاضي محمد وسام المرتضى على استضافته المبادرة بالمكتبة الوطنية. ومثل ما بتعرفوا فنون التعبير ما بتكتمل إلا بالفن، لأنه الفن هو أرقى تعبير عن الشعور والإرادة والحلم. جائزة محمود كحيل هي المنبر يلي مبادرة معتز ورادة الصواف خلقته سنة ورا سنة حتى يعبروا الفنانين اللبنانيين والعرب عن أحلام الحرية وإرادة التغيير ويتبادلوا خبراتهم الإبداعية، لأنه الكاريكاتير أحياناً أقوى من 1000 مقال وأسرع وسيلة لتوعية الضمير. 18 دولة عربية وأكثر من 2000 شخص من مبدعي ومبدعات الشرائط والقصص المصورة صاروا جزء من جائزة محمود كحيل السنوية. أما أكبر إنجازات المبادرة فهي: 1. إصدار طابع بريدي لتخليد ذكرى محمود كحيل. 2. تأسيس مركز رادة ومعتز الصواف للقصص المصورة بالجامعة الأمريكية ببيروت لتنشيط وتعريف العالم الأوروبي عن جودة أعمال الفنانين العرب بمجال الكوميكس، جرافيك نوفلز والقصص المصورة، ويكون مرجع لكل الرسامين العرب والكتب يلي نشرت بالعالم العربي. 3. دعم كل الفعاليات والمشاركة في معارض عالمية لإظهار إنتاجات الفنانين العرب، ليكون هيدا المركز المنصة الأولى للتعبير عن حرية الرأي والتفكير. طريق المبادرة كانت طويلة والتحديات كانت صعبة، بس معتز علمني إنه ما في شيء اسمه صعب، في شغف وإرادة وإصرار لتحقيق المستحيل. المستحيل اللي بيصير ممكن، والممكن بيصير إنجاز، والإنجاز هو بحد ذاته نجاح. وأخيراً وبدي أقول مبروك لإلكم ولادة المركز ولكل المشتركين والفايزين، وشكراً.
بدنا نترككم مع دوكيومنتير عن المركز يلي رح يتم افتتاحه بكرة بالجامعة الأمريكية ببيروت. هذا المركز يلي بيخلينا نكتشف إنه الجامعة، وعم بحكي بالمطلق، الجامعة منا جدران أو حيطان فارغة أو شيلفز بحط عليهم كتب وبتنترك للنسيان. لا، الجامعة هي المحل النابض بالحياة، وهيدا الشيء اللي انعمل بروفيسور خوري أستاذ معتز من خلال هيدا المركز. هذا المركز هدفه الأساسي إنه يصير هب للحركة الفنية، وبالتحديد حركة الشرائط المصورة والقصص المصورة، جسر عبور نحو العالم العربي، ومن العالم العربي نحو العالم. عالمية هذا الفن تبدأ بتأسيس هذا المركز. نشوف الدوكيومنتري سوا.
Up in the Arab world, I grew up in Cairo, in Sana'a, in Damascus, in Beirut, in Kuwait. In those countries, my mom actually encouraged us to read comics. She thought it was a great way to get one excited about reading in Arabic. So I really grew up with those comics magazines. And these are the magazines that I'm researching today.
معتز خلق بحب الكرتون، ووقتها من وقت ما كان صغير من عمر 10 سنين 12 سنة كان يتبادل هو وخيه الكرتون والكوميكس ماجازينز. من حلمه انه يدرس الكرتون والكوميكس، بس لما تخرج من الIC وفات على AUB قال له لبيو I want to go to do comics and cartoons. At that time قال له بيو الكرتون and comics ما رح تعميك وما رح تشبعك. بتصور إذا بتروح على الميديكال سكول أو إذا بتروح على الاركيتكتشر سكول أكيد بتكون أحسن وأهم لك، هيدي اللي حتعطيك مستقبل.
Comics is a very serious medium. It's a visual medium of expression, it's communication. It tells the history of the region, it tells the voices of the youth. We have about 100 years, if not more, of comics that has been going on in the region, that has gone through all sorts of development stages, from Egypt to Lebanon, Morocco, Algeria, Iraq, Palestine. But in the last 2 decades, there's this huge movement of comics that's for adults. It's happening in parallel with the revolutions. And I think they found this beautiful place for themselves to express themselves in a less conventional art.
لما تعرفت على معتز he used to pick up any clipping or any strip from magazines يرجيني اياه هون اطلع فيه وانبسط. with time مع معتز صرت انا لما افتح newspapers ولما افتح any magazine صرت انا اسحبهم للكليبينج وللستريبات خبي له اياه هون حتى اصير اعطيه اياه هون. ما بقني on board, صرت the drive behind it.
I was looking out the window at the ocean, and my colleague, she walked into my office and she said, guess what? I said, what? She said, I was at the office of the provost at a meeting and I saw a document on the table that said comics. And I was asking, oh, what's that about? The provost said, oh, it's a proposal for an award on comics. And do you know anybody who could, maybe work on this? And she said, I know just the person. And so she came to me and she said, are you interested? And yeah, that was it. And that's, as the rest is destiny. Recognition is an important part of an artist's journey. Your art speaks to somebody, it says something, it means something, there's a community. We have almost now 10 years of our Mahmoud Kahil Award, and that's documenting a decade of illustration, cartoons, graphic narratives, and what has been happening in the region, what are the themes that they're exploring and writing about, what are the things that they're feeling, what are the styles and the aesthetics they're using, what are they influenced by.
الانيشيتيف لما انطلقت بال 2015 ما كنا ابدا بالحسبان انه نوصل لسنتر. اليوم قديش نحن مبسوطين وفخورين بانشاء السنتر بالAUB. هيدا السنتر انعمل للحفاظ وتثبيت تراث هيدا الفن الراقي على البلاتفورم تبع الخارطة العالمية.
We've been building to get to this place. We are super proud that we've achieved it, that with, of course, the generous donation of Mr. and Mrs. Sawaf. We hope to move to the next stage, that we can be a hub and a center for discussing and talking about this, for gathering people and networking. But to have one entirely, focused on Arab comics is unique in itself.
شكرا على هالدوكيومنتري الحلو. طبعا لفتني باخر الدوكيومنتري ATM ماشين، اذا شفتوها قبل ما يرجعوا يمشوا باذن الله، يعني ما بعرف اسمه. بدي ماني محضر شيء احكي عن بروفيسور فضلو خوري. انا اعتبرت اني بعرفه كفايه لحتى ارتجل المشاعر يلي يعني بشعر فيها تجاه البروفيسور خوري. في عدة محطات جمعتنا، عدة ايفنتس حكينا فيهم، وطبعا كان في فضل لمعتز ورادا يعرفوني على بروفيسور فضلو. بس أنا الكلمة اللي بحب أوصف فيها فضلو خوري مع يعني طبعا الاحتفاظ بلقبه وبمقامه، هو أنه قاد الجامعة الأمريكية بمرحلة حساسة كتير وصعبة كتير، وكان ليدر يعني، وكان قائد أكاديمي واجتماعي مدني، بروفيسور بكل معنى الكلمة. أنك تترأس جامعة مثل الجامعة الأمريكية فيها هذا التنوع الكبير وتحافظ فيها على الحس الديمقراطي. بنشوف مرات الجامعة الأمريكية عم تعمل انتخابات للطلاب، عن جد بيكبر قلبنا رغم كل التناقضات وكل التميزات وكل هالتعدد. هيدا في ديمقراطية حلوة خلقت بالجامعة الأمريكية وعم بتصدر هالإشعاع الديمقراطي على محيطها اللبناني وعلى محيطها العربي. بروفيسور فضلو خوري.
علينا نحكي بالإنجليزي لأنه ضيفنا عم تسمع كتير عربي. Good evening, friends, Your Excellencies. I'm going to stray from my speech a little bit. The former Prime Minister and I have known each other for several decades in many capacities, and we've always felt comfortable disagreeing. مظبوط ولا لا فؤاد? Agreeing and disagreeing. But one thing I think we agree on very strongly is the comparative advantage of AUB and of Lebanon is freedom of expression, is freedom of speech. And this is something that has been concerning for us lately, for us and Saint-Joseph, to the point where we try not to make many public statements, but we felt the need to do it. It wasn't targeted at any one group. But I think most of us can agree that the comparative advantage of the people, al-Mashriqiyin, is this freedom of speech and expression. And there's something unique about comic book art. Comic book art is subversive. Its aspirations are outsized, its villains are outsized, its heroes are outsized, as you were just saying, Ronnie. But also the concepts that unite us are outsized. So I have to say I was honored and delighted when Mu'taz and Rada approached us to have the center at AUB. Frankly, it fits at AUB. AUB has a little bit of a subversive culture anyway, so thank you. It's a real honor for us to have the Mu'taz and Rada Sawaf Center for Arab Comic Studies. And I think Rada underplays her role, but she comes from a lineage of a family that stood up and paid a price for freedom of expression. And that has been the continuing struggle in this country, in this region, with difficult ideas. Of course, universities traditionally are safe spaces for traditional ideas, at least physically safe. But I'm going to argue that perhaps universities became too safe. Maybe we became stifling. Maybe we became just about giving people degrees and giving them jobs. And I don't think, when I speak at least for Alan and Zahir and the deans and the faculty at AUB, that's how we see AUB. We see AUB as a place to explore ideas. And as someone who grew up on comic books, nothing helps inspire young minds. And by young, 60-year-olds, we're still young, like comic books in so many ways. Dua al-Adl, the great Egyptian cartoonist, put it beautifully. I'm going to say it in English, but his words in Arabic, and he translated, are also very powerful. He said, the purpose of cartooning is to awaken people. Some media outlets, whether in the United States or Egypt, distort the facts. But cartoonists, we have the freedom to say what we want. In the Arab world, there are no safe spaces for cartoonists other than universities. And I think to support, to empower, to embrace the power of the cartoon, of the graphic novel, of the illustrated story to tell a different narrative, a true narrative, is something we have to hold on to. I could wax poetic much longer and distract from the main event, but I won't. I want to pay homage to two very, very important people in Rada and Mutaz. Their singular contribution literally made this center possible, and I want every one of the comics from your collection. متفقين, huh? Mutaz, as you heard from Rada, is a lifelong cartoonist. He is himself quite talented. He went to Plan B, which was what his father recommended. He did okay at that too. But the Sawaf family has been so generous with AUB in so many ways, as the neonate fund that was established, the medical center, the scholarships, the impact on events to help refugees, to help Syrian students and their families, as well as the Lebanese host communities. Mutaz, through his life in this area, has always understood the interconnection of the citizens of the Levant. So this transformative gift makes an enormous difference for AUB. I would one day like to see a bachelor's degree in comic art at AUB. Now, I'll sit there and buy tickets and enjoy architecture and engineering. It's okay, we'll flip it. And arts and sciences fighting for primacy. That will be a joy. But none of this, frankly, would have been possible without Lina. Lina always likes to soft pedal what she's done, but Lina Ghaibeh has embraced this. She has shared events at Angoulême all over the world, and she's inspired people. She's herself a talented artist. But also one of the individuals who knows that the university has to lead in freedom of expression and speech. I agree. I'm not اليوم. The only comparative advantage we have, al-Mashriqiyin, the Levantines, for what, using a not so popular phrase, is our determined, dogged pursuit of the truth and our refusal to surrender it for a safer, better, more comfortable life. Today inaugurates the Rada Mutaz Sawaf Center, tomorrow at AUB. Long may that continue. Thank you, Rada, thank you, Mutaz, and thank you, Lina.
شكرا بروفيسور فضل خوري. طبعا استوقفتني بكلمتك انه ما في مكان امن لمبدعي الكاريكاتير اكثر من الجامعه. وحقيقه كلام مزبوط. في مبدعين ورسامين كاريكاتوريين دفعوا حياتهم. يعني ناجي العلي تم اغتياله بال86، خلق بيرسوناج اسمه حنظله قتلت ناجي العلي. يعني منا شغله بسيطه، حرية التعبير وهالقدرة على أنك تحارب باسم الحق، تحمل سيف الحق وتمشي فيه وتضلك على قيد الحياة. مش هيك مثل ما قال بروفيسور خوري، الجامعة هي المكان الأمثل لتنمية هالقدرة اللي عنده إياها الإنسان أنه يواجه بالحق قوى الباطل. انتزع مني كل اللي بدي أحكيه كنت عن لينا، عن بروفيسور، واي طبعا واخذت كل الرهجه والزقفه لانه بتستحق لينا، وبحب انه زقفنا مره ثانيه اذا بتريدوا. لينا تفضلي.
Hello. I didn't think I would appear so much on screen ever in my life. Sorry about that. A little too up close and personal. Well, أول شيء start at the beginning. So, كل سنة, every year, I keep my speech to about 120 seconds precisely, because usually everyone has spoken so eloquently before me. But after 8 years of hard work, I'm gonna talk. So sorry. I'm sorry about that. Please bear with me, because I do have a few acknowledgements, because this path is never done alone. It is always with starting from a very small team to a very big team, to an entire university, to a community of artists. And so please, I will have 4 important entities I'd like to thank before we go to the very exciting awards. So I will welcome everybody, president, trustees, deans, chairs, esteemed advisory board members who are here with us today, jury members, dear artists, wherever you have now moved around the floor, guest speakers, friends, venerable guests. First, my name is Lina Ghaibeh, and I'm the founding director of the center, and I'm a comics addict. So I'm really happy to welcome you here today. It's a very, very important and special moment in my heart. We are gathered at this exquisite building, the Lebanese National Library, located in the heart of the city of Beirut, next to the Sanaya Garden, one of the few remaining green spaces. In this historic building, which I think connects very closely to our mission, the mission of our Center of Arab Comics at AUB, on 3 counts. The building was first established as the Sanaya School of Arts and Crafts in 1907. The center, our center, promotes the teaching and production of the art of comics from the region, and embraces this art and its canons as an integral feature of contemporary Arab art. The building later on, this beautiful building, later on became home to the Faculty of Law and Political Sciences of the Lebanese University. And of course, our center is similarly an academic body, part of a university, and acts as a hub of critical study of comics. It documents, analyzes the social political aspects of the region through the study of comics. And lastly, the building, the third point, was that the building was finally announced in 2006 as the National Library, a library that holds the memory of a country within a collection of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of books. Similarly, through the archival collection, the one-of-a-kind only collection in the world of comics and illustration art at the American University Library, the center aims to preserve this heritage and this art form. But let's go back 10 years. I'll be fast through the 10 years. Since the establishment, so we were started in 2014, as several people have beautifully mentioned, as an initiative at AUB, but much has happened in the meantime. It has been more than a decade since the beginning of the Arab uprisings, and a lot has changed in the region. With the revolutions resulted the ousting of several dictators, but many of the Arab countries today are experiencing severe economic crises, war, violent conflict, and an exodus of displaced people looking for a better life. Lebanon underwent an economic crisis, as we know, still going through it, a national uprising, devastating explosion, and then of course we had a bizarre pandemic that changed our educational systems, teaching, working went online, etc. But during all this time, and very rooted in their realities of the region, the cartoonists, the comics artists, the illustrators, they have been documenting these instances and their surroundings. They have been reflecting on their experiences. They have been highlighting the injustices, and they have been imagining better futures with tremendous insight, with satire, and with humor, as displayed through the art that you will see in the exhibition and that you see annually at the annual Mahmoud Kahil Awards, and through the many books that we have produced. All these past 8 years ranges a huge amount of artworks, a variety of content and of styles that I hope you will enjoy having a look at. But this year also marks the 20th anniversary. Where is Rada Kahil? There. This is the 20th anniversary. Please stand up. Since the passing of the renowned cartoonist Mahmoud Kahil, whose name we try in a little way to honor in the title of the award. His daughter Dana Kahil is with us not only today, but she every year at the award, and she's the safekeeper of his memory with the huge foundation of his work. And while I think he left a huge gap in the lives of those that he loved and touched, and an emptiness on the pages of the newspapers that he contributed to,
Yes, he certainly left a timeless legacy and a wealth of cartoons that will forever remain as a historical documentation of the times, lingering in our collective memory. And while his trademark scraggly black little crow may have represented pessimism and misfortune to Kahil, the little winged creature, can somebody give me the little winged creature? I'll show you him, has become a symbol of our award and a bearer of very good fortune. And so, I'll just show you. So this is the bird of Kahil, and he is our award trophy. And I think he's extremely beautiful. Is it he or is he a she? Could be a she. Thank you. And this is the end. And so, in this center, we continue to dream of a better world, of a world where art connects people, where culture brings them together and tells their stories, a world where the artists document their new realities, express our feelings, and help us imagine for a better future. That's the end. But I would like to just now acknowledge a few key people that were part of the making of the center. It's short and fast. I am going to thank my life partner, my husband Jad, who is not only a fellow comics artist, but an established writer on Arab comics in the region, a pioneer in the field. He has served on the jury many, many a time. He has been #1 supporter and fan. He has cheered us as a center along when everything went wrong. He has when things went well. He consoled us when things were tough. And he filled the empty space that I left when I was busy with my events. He contributed professionally to the events we hosted, but he is always a charming host to the guests who come every year, taking them all over Beirut, the Beirut that we love. I wouldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Jad. Of course, I thank Mr. and Mrs. Sawaf, and everyone has heard, but I have my own little story to tell. Mr. Sawaf, who dreamt of comics since he was a child, without whom the center would not have happened. We have one great thing in common, and it's our passion for comics. The passion has lit our path, fired the engines, smoothed any bumps along the way in the early years, and with his quick business mind, with his extensive experience, we sped across the years, and we even beat AUB's sometimes slow machine. Mrs. Rada's support of her husband, even if it takes over her whole house, dreamt along with him. Herself a philanthropist, she accepted to share this dream and to make it happen. Our mutual respect and believing in this common cause and this vision made the initiative turn into a center. I think we make a good team. Thank you. I truly thank President Fadlo Khouri, another comic lover, who has been an incredible supporter. He has taken comics seriously, and me sometimes, enough to believe that the center had a role to play in AUB and in academia, and even in the world. He always cheered on, attended our endless string of events. He continuously managed to give engaging, thoughtful speeches at every time. I thank you deeply, Mr. President. Almost there. I thank my Dean, Alan Shhade, whose unique vision and very unorthodox leadership of the faculty made it not only conceivable, but possible to house comics with engineering and have it recognized as an academic unit. Through thick and thin, Dean Shhade has stood by us always, asked the bigger questions, and kept our sight on the prize. He always checked in that things were evolving, stepped in many a times to help out, even at the awards, and to give a helping hand and make things move forward, always managing to hold AUB up high. Thank you, Dean. Thank you. Lastly, but certainly not least, I thank my work partner along this winding road, my project manager, my office companion, my stress manager, my problem solver, my friend and coffee drinker, Khouri Kanaan. There is no one more hardworking or more committed to her job at AUB. Starting as a young woman with many degrees and moderate experience, she is now called on for advice, consultations, and shows people the ropes. No one knows the inner workings of AUB better than Khouri, and no one can avoid her
If she needs something, she is persistent and it will get it done, no matter the long delays and how many emails need to be sent or how many calls need to be made. Together, I think we were able to overcome many difficulties and obstacles, pandemics and crises, thawra and collapse, long nights and Ramadan days, and even earthquakes. Together we grew, we kept dreaming of a center, and Hawra, we made it happen. That's it. I thank all the contributing beautiful teams who have been working diligently for this day today. I thank Team Fabrica for the fabulous exhibition design that you are going to see, for the lighting and this beautiful setup here, and the stupendous AI, which I'll just explain in a second. Naji and Stephanie Zahar and my Ghaibeh. I thank Haya Bizri, who was the visual branding of the entire center, and Sahir Ghazawi for the inaugural events design of everything, and George Azar and his wonderful team, Adrian, Rabir, and Sarah, for the beautiful documentary that we will keep forever and that was done in record time. That's it. The events planning at AUB team, who always are efficiently helping us and making, and then the architect who made the space that I hope you will visit tomorrow, Sahar Marti, Khaled Juju, Jad Salame, and Basim Barhoumi from AUB's FPDU. Thank you, everybody. And now for the awards. So, just so that you know, the center has a fantastic advisory board members that I will just like them to stand up so we can honor them. Mr. Ricardo Karam is sitting there. If you'd like to come forward, Mr. Rami Khouri, yes. And Mr. Paul Gravitt. If you would like to, where's Paul? Oh, there he is. Please stand up. If, well, since Ricardo's near us, and Rami, if you're interested, we could give the honorary awards. We would like to have you give the honorary awards. While they're stepping up, I'll just read the names of the fantastic members of the jury. Okay, before the honorary, I'll just read them, don't worry. If we don't need to have them, I'll read them aloud. We have from Ecuador and living in Argentina, Power Paula. She's an artist, cartoonist, and illustrator. Ralph Dumet, where are you today? Oh, there, please. He's from Lebanon, a professor of comics and history of comics and animation, cultural journalist, and an illustrator himself as well, and an author. From Tunis, we have Uthman Selmi, illustrator, comics author, and a graphic designer. I'm just, they're falling. I have George Khouri, who is an artist, academic, and writer from Lebanon. And Esther Zepp, Dr. Esther Zepp, who's a comic scholar, educator. She's a comic scholar and educator and a writer. So I would like to, we have the honorary winner tonight, who is the Lifetime Achievement Award. So this is an award given to someone who has over 25 years of work and life work in this case, especially in editorial cartoons. From Jordan, let us all welcome Ahmad Hajjaj. Yes. Oh, Ali. Come. Let's ناخد صورة. Okay, I can do it. Yes. Oh, sorry. عماد إذا بدك تقول كلمتي. تفضل. عماد will give us a nice. تفضل.
سعيد جدا بوجودي، سعيد جدا بهذا التكريم. شكرا لجائزة محمود كحيل بصفتي فنان أردني. سعيد أن أكون بلبنان. بيروت رغم كل هذه الظروف الصعبة ما زالت منارة لنا نحن الرسامين العرب. أنا أعتز فعلا بهذه الجائزة. شكرا لكم. شكرا.
And for our next honorary award, so we have 2 honorary awards. Our next honorary award is the Comics Guardian Award. And this is a very important award because it is given to people who have or entities who have supported comics as a platform. They could be publishers, they could be comics festivals, Mahrajan Cairo Comics got it a few years ago, etc. So, and the winner of this year is Fanzine from Jordan. So, I'd like to welcome Lutfi Zayed and Mike Derderian. You can turn around as it's easier. And I'll give this to Lina. Yes. Paul, can we have you on board? Okay. Arbu hon, there's space. Yes. Yes, very good. And there's beautiful. Come closer, please. Hey. Mabruk, this is a record. We have not had Jordanians for a long time, and to several Jordanians. If you want to say anything.
مساء الخير جميعا، مبسوطين جدا انه موجودين معكم بجائزة محمود كحيل، ويعني اكيد رح تعطينا دفعة وفخورين انه كنا جزء حتى لو كان صغير، واظن رح يعني يعطي تأثير كثير كبير بالاردن وبالمنطقة ككل. فشكرا مرة ثانية.
Thank you. زي ما حكى لطفي يعني it's a great push. يعني بلشنا بلبنان احنا سمندل كانت inspiration لنا، والشغل اللي عم تعملوه كتير حلو بالدوكيومنتيشن، وزي ما قال لطفي push، والعدد الخامس حيطلع قريبا. I think we'll exchange it. Thank you كتير.
بس بحب اقول انه فانزين مجله، يعني كولكتيف ارتست كولكتيف، بس كمان مجله، والعدد الخامس طالع هلا. بعد الايفنت رح تتفضلوا تشوفوا كل الاشغال. So we're all right as soon as we finish I will invite everybody to the beautiful exceptional exhibition where you will see all the artworks that we're talking about. All right, so now we are going to announce the editorial cartoons. The winner of the editorial cartoons. We first always start with the finalists. So the finalists are Yasin Al-Khalil from Syria, Omar Abdullah from Jordan, and Muhammad Qasim min Palestine. And the winner is Omar Abdullah. ايه بليز انا عم زحلق. ان
شاء الله ما توقع بس.
اعطيني
طيب. يا بيروت يا ست الدنيا يا بيروت، يا بيروت يا ست الدنيا يا بيروت، إن الثورة تولد من رحم الأحزان. وبالتأكيد مثل هذه الجائزة هي أحد أشكال الثورة الفكرية والإنسانية المليئة بالمحبة والعطاء والفكر والتنوير. أهدي هذه الجائزة لكل رسامي الكاريكاتير اللي قدموا حياتهم لأجل هذه الرسالة، للراحل محمود كحيل، ناجي العلي، بهجة عثمان، مؤيد نعمة من كل أنحاء العالم العربي، ولكل صاحب فكر حر. وأهديها لوالدي والدتي وزوجتي. والدي رحل قبل عدة سنوات كذلك. والدي حين فصلت من أحد الصحف المحلية عام 2011 أعطاني أعظم نصيحة: قبل أي شيء أن تؤمن بنفسك، وأن تؤمن أنك الأفضل، وأن تقدم كل ما تملك لو من دون مقابل. وما أجمل العطاء وما أجمل المحبة. شكرا بيروت، شكرا لبنان، شكرا للقائمين على الفعالية. شكرا.
Next are graphic novels or الروايات التصويرية. عنا النهائيين. For the finalists are George Abi Mahaya from Lebanon, Saif ad-Din Nashi from Tunisia with Ghost, Joseph Qai from Lebanon with Lankanki, and Dina Muhammad from Egypt with Shubaik Labbaik. And the winner is George Abi Mahaya. Just a minute. I need my jury members. Esther, would you like to come and give? And next would be Para Paula. I'm sorry. I would like to give it to you, but we're going to give them the honor. Thank you. Don't go away. The graphic novel that George made is A City Neighboring Earth أو مدينة مجاورة للأرض.
لا بس ميرسي كثير للجوررز وللانيشيتيف وللكل. Thank you very much.
Comics artists usually don't like the limelight. They just prefer to draw behind everything. So, okay. And then we have the finalists for the comics category. الشرائط المصورة. عنا النهائيين. عنا تريسي شهوان من لبنان. حسين عادل داوود من العراق. حسين عادل داوود from Iraq. And Ganzir from Egypt. And guess who it is? Ganzir. Janzir. Woo! Come, let's take it. Last time we forgot the picture with the whoever. Mabruk, Janzir.
خليني أقول قد إيه يا جماعة. I'm like so very honored to receive this award. As I'm sure you all know, award ceremonies are incredibly important for any industry, right? For film, for literature, وهكذا. With comics, although احنا عندنا يعني في المنطقة في like a rich history of cartooning في المنطقة, as I'm sure Lina's research will demonstrate. The industry شوية ورا, So I think we're starting already to see in this award is pushing things forward on an industry level. And it's just really such a great honor to accept this award. Comics are my first love. Lebanon is my third love, probably. This really means a lot. Shukran.
That's not fair. Who's your second love? Who's your second love, Janzir? Oh, okay. So the category of graphic illustration أو الرسوم التصويرية والتعبيرية, we have 3 finalists. We have Mariam Omar from Egypt, Tracy Shahwan, once again from Lebanon, and Yusuf Al-Amin from Sudan. And this year's winner is Tracy Shahwan. Tracy's a queen. Her illustration is right behind you. Yes.
Hi, I'm very nervous on stage, so I'm going to be fast. I'm so happy to be back home for this award. And I still remember the one 5 years ago so fondly, especially when you brought ABBA to the gala. So thank you so much for this initiative, and I'm so happy and so grateful. Thanks.
The last category is children's book illustration, an area in the Arab world that is thriving. we have 75% are women who are always contributing to this category. Our finalists are Hanan Qa'i from Lebanon with the Amal series. We have two beautiful finalists also from Syria, Haya Halawi from Syria, Omar Lafi from Jordan, and Lina Naddaf from Syria as well. And the winner is Hanan Qa'i. You know why? Because already Khalil Yado, please sit down. Oh my God. Thank you. I'd love to give this to you. Sure.
الميكروفون obviously مش designed لحدا متر ونص بس انه thank you. Thanks for organizing this and for trusting me. الكتاب اللي ربح هو جزء من سلسلة كتير كبيرة رفقتنا بآخر 3 سنين من حياتي، فكانت مثل كأنه الشيء اللي it was grounding me بالوقت كل شيء بالحياة عم بيفرط من كوفيد للبلد، لأنه تأملنا أنه القصص ترجع تزبط وما زبطت. فأم grateful for the work لأنه خلصنا من هذا الشيء و thank you for trusting me. وبدي أشكر كمان الببلشر أنه they trusted me بمشروع هالقد حلو. Thank you.
So even though we have finished our words, I just want to say something about something that's coming on the screen. This year we have something very special that we have never done before. We at the center are not only dedicated to the past and the present in supporting comics, but also looking towards the future. So we see artificial intelligence as a potential tool for inspiration. Tonight we're going to take a closer look at the capabilities of AI in the field of comics. In the middle counter, you will find five generated characters by AI that you can chat with. They have all the information on the library and the Mahmoud Kahil Award. You can ask them questions. There are headphones that you can listen to. And they have a shared knowledge of the library. On the large display, when we leave, you can see an animation that has been generated using several AI tools that together are applied to select artworks specifically from the award this year, creating fascinating worlds. We invite you to watch them. We would like to extend my gratitude to the Fabrica team who has done all this AI for experimenting with the world of AI and for the incredible exhibition design. I want you to go, enjoy, and thank you for being here tonight. Before we leave, just for the artists and the jury and the winners and Mr. Sawaf and Mrs. Sawaf to take a picture. Hey. If we can just have the winners, the jury, the advisory board, Mr. and Mrs. Sawaf, President Khouri, Alan, if you want. Picture, just everybody. Why not? Mrs. Dana Kahil, please.
I don't know, it was supposed to be there. I wish I told you so. And if I ever hurt you, I hurt myself inside.
understand the blues. I understand why they call them the blues. Because problems can make you have the blues.
Keep it real, y'all. Gotta keep it real, y'all.